figured I'd make a short video here. I came up with a new idea. I was looking through my postcards tonight, and I realized, well, I knew this before, but I have a bunch of collections from different towns across Western PA and Pennsylvania in general. And I figured that over the next few months, I do one here and there, just talk about a few of the postcards and do it all as a series for each town. And for tonight, I don't have much time, so I figured I'd do the quickest one that I have to prepare for, which is Fairview, which is my the hometown, as you know, and it's in Western PA. And I have 4 postcards. I have a 5th one too, but I don't know where it's at. It's a problem about moving in 4 different locations within a year, but we're going to look at those, and then in the future, I hope to present some more small towns in Western PA for your viewing pleasure. So, in a moment here, we'll start looking at these photos, and I'll start talking about the history of them. And please enjoy. This is the view looking to Fairview. If you're leaving Carson City, PA, and coming up Hayesville Road, this would be the road you're coming into Fairview on. And you can see in the far right there's a brick church. That's the Presbyterian church. And then straight ahead was the other Presbyterian church. And it was started in 1870 and torn down like the early 1900s. But it's a nice little view. On the left-hand side of the postcard, you can see the old school. The old school, I heard rumors that it was moved up the hill to be made into a house that's still standing there. But I'm not sure if it's the same building or not. I'll have to do some more research on that. But you can see the old dirt road in the Fairview back then. This photo here, this was called the Maxwell House. The Maxwell family built it in the Actually, I'm not sure if they built it or if they bought it, but they lived there in the 1850s up until, like, they owned it till the 1940s, 50s. And there was a family, a mother, father, and 4 daughters and a son. And they lived there. The father owned a foundry in town that made iron products, and also he operated a mercantile store that he ran until 1872. The house caught fire in 1904 after lightning hit it, and the father put out the fire. He was, I think, in his late 60s or late 70s at the time the house caught fire. And he caught pneumonia and died later on in 1904. And you can see there's a couple pictures here of the women sitting in the front lawn. You can see there's an old iron fence around the house, and a lot of that still remains throughout town. I guess when they moved out of the house, people they had a big auction there back in the 1940s. None of the stuff was really worth anything, but it was all from the 1850s, 1860s, 70s. You know, it was the whole family's collection. And the fence came apart in pieces, so people used them for their rose trellises, like tie up roses or plants. And I have a few of them. It's pretty neat. And I have the 2 original cast iron gates for the 2 entrances into the yard. There's a picture of the old house there, too. This picture here, this is a carpenter house. It still stands, too. It's up at the intersection of Angel Avenue and North Main Street in Fairview. Surprisingly, in Fairview, there is a South and North Main Street for all 100 yards there is of it. And this house today looks nothing like what this old photo looks like. They put vinyl siding on it, replaced the windows with smaller windows. And back in the day, this is what it looked like. The next photo is the C. Scott store. And this was Chamber Scott. It was a general store in town. At some later video, I have the old store ledgers for people that had accounts at the store. It's pretty neat to see what people bought back in the day. But this was the place back in the day to hang out in Fairview. It was a dry town. They did not allow bars or anything else. And C. Scott store was at the right corner of the intersection. And that's where everyone congregated at. And the last photo here I have is the Presbyterian church. I've already talked about this quite a bit already, but this is another old postcard photo of it. And you can see it in its original state. And as you can see, not much has changed if you're familiar with the area right now. But here's a picture of it today. And they did add on some some Sunday school rooms to it, and it needs some repair now, but it's still standing tall in Fairview. Well, thank you for watching that. I hope everyone learned something tonight. I can keep talking about this for days. I have lots more photos and memorabilia from Fairview, but I won't bore you all at once. So please like and subscribe to my page, and I hope to see you in the future here. Thank you. Bye.